Welcome to English Easy Hub. Join us as we ignite the flames of your English learning journey together.
Please subscribe to watch and embark on your English learning journey. Don't miss out on the exciting content. In this insightful and reflective dialogue, Simon, a determined English learner, seeks guidance from his teacher on how he dramatically improved his English speaking skills in just 3 months. Through a series of thoughtful questions and observations, Simon uncovers the deeper strategies behind his progress, from daily speaking routines and shadowing techniques to the psychological impact of confidence and goal setting. The teacher responds with depth, offering research-backed insights, practical advice, and cognitive science perspectives. This conversation serves not only as a personal reflection, but also as a valuable blueprint for anyone aspiring to elevate their spoken English fluency through intentional, strategic practice.
Good afternoon, Professor. I've been reflecting on the last few months, and I'm quite surprised my English speaking has significantly improved in just 3 months. I want to dig deep into how this transformation happened. Could you help me understand what factors really drove this improvement?
Good afternoon, Simon. That's wonderful to hear. I'm glad you're approaching your progress with curiosity. Improvement in spoken English typically results from a synergy of consistent practice, immersive exposure, and conscious correction. Let's examine each component thoroughly. First, what kinds of speaking practice were you engaged in over these months?
I committed to speaking English daily, mostly with language partners online. We talked about random topics, from culture to personal stories. But sometimes it felt unstructured. Does the content of the conversation matter, or is any practice good practice?
Excellent observation. While any speaking is better than none, the content does matter. Speaking about diverse, meaningful topics like politics, ethics, or personal growth forces you to explore complex sentence structures and advanced vocabulary. It stretches your linguistic flexibility. Random small talk may sustain fluency, but meaningful dialogue builds depth.
That makes sense. I noticed when I spoke about abstract topics, I struggled more. But after a few weeks, I started to express myself better, even when explaining opinions. Is that because I was stretching my language muscles?
Precisely. Think of language learning like resistance training. When you attempt to articulate abstract thoughts, you push beyond the comfort zone of memorized phrases. Your brain creates new neural pathways to express nuanced ideas. Over time, those pathways strengthen, making expression more natural.
I also shadowed TED Talks and YouTube videos. I'd repeat after the speaker, trying to match their tone and rhythm. Is that why my pronunciation improved?
Absolutely. Shadowing is one of the most underappreciated yet powerful techniques. It trains your brain to process sounds faster and develop native-like prosody. It also enhances your muscle memory. Your mouth becomes more adept at producing English sounds.
I didn't realize how much that helped until a friend said I sounded more fluent and natural. But I'm still unsure how to eliminate filler words like and you know. They sneak into my speech a lot.
A common challenge. Fillers are often symptoms of two things: hesitation and lack of thought organization. One practical way to reduce them is to slow your speech down slightly and embrace short pauses. Silence, when used well, can be more powerful than cluttered fluency. Try recording your speech and analyzing where fillers appear.
Interesting. So, silence isn't a sign of weakness, it's actually strategic. I like that. What about vocabulary expansion? I've been using a flashcard app, but sometimes I forget words in conversations.
Vocabulary is like a tool. You may own the tool, but using it correctly under pressure takes time. Instead of just memorizing words, try using new vocabulary immediately in real conversations. You might even write a short dialogue using the word or tell a story around it. Contextual use cements memory far better than repetition alone.
I did that with the word ambivalent. I used it in 3 conversations the same week I learned it. Now it just rolls off my tongue. I guess storytelling helps build active recall?
Exactly. Storytelling forces your brain to actively retrieve and apply words in real time. It also engages emotion and imagery, two powerful allies in memory. The more senses and emotions you involve, the more sticky the vocabulary becomes.
I also started keeping a video journal. Every night, I'd speak for 5 minutes about my day. At first, I cringed watching myself, but over time, I began to notice my pronunciation and pacing improving. Is self-awareness a key part of speaking fluency?
That's an excellent habit, Simon. Self-reflection accelerates learning because it closes the feedback loop. Most learners speak and move on. You speak, observe, analyze, and adjust. That's how professionals improve. Athletes watch game tapes, and you're doing the same.
One thing I struggle with is staying confident when I speak with native speakers. I worry about sounding silly or making grammar mistakes. How can I overcome that fear?
Confidence doesn't come from perfection. It comes from persistence. Every mistake you make and survive is a tiny battle won. Start seeing native speakers not as judges, but as opportunities. Shift from "I hope I don't make a mistake" to "let's see what I can express today." Reframing the experience changes the emotional response.
That's powerful. I like that idea, turning every conversation into a learning lab, not a test. I've also been reading books aloud. It feels like it improves my articulation. Is that scientifically grounded?
Yes, reading aloud activates the phonological loop, part of your working memory that links sound to articulation. It enhances mouth coordination and helps with intonation. Plus, reading fiction aloud allows you to become different voices and characters, which enriches your expression.
I've also started mimicking native speakers' expressions and gestures. I thought it was a bit theatrical at first, but it helped me sound more expressive and less robotic.
You're engaging in what's called embodied cognition. Language isn't just in the brain, it lives in the body. By syncing gestures, facial expressions, and tone, you create a fuller, more convincing communication style. It's how children acquire language too, holistically.
That's so true. Children don't learn with grammar books, they imitate the world. Speaking of grammar, I try to use correct structures, but sometimes I hesitate because I overthink the rules. Should I focus less on grammar while speaking?
During speaking, fluency should take priority. Accuracy improves with time and feedback. If you over-monitor your grammar, it disrupts the natural flow. Think of grammar like scaffolding, necessary when building, but eventually you internalize the structure. Use writing and feedback sessions to refine accuracy.
That's a relief to hear. I've also tried thinking in English throughout the day, narrating my thoughts like "I'm opening the fridge now" or "I wonder if it'll rain." Does that contribute to fluency?
Massively. Thinking in English rewires your mental operating system. It reduces translation lag, which is a common bottleneck. Over time, it forms a direct neural path from intention to English expression, bypassing your native language filter.
Wow, it's like I'm rewiring my brain one phrase at a time. Lastly, do you think having a clear goal, like preparing for an interview, helped me stay motivated? I noticed I practiced more when I had a concrete reason.
Goals are the compass. Motivation without direction disperses. Motivation with a goal concentrates. Short-term challenges, like an upcoming interview or presentation, create urgency. Pair that with long-term vision, like becoming a confident global communicator, and you'll have both fuel and direction.
This conversation has clarified so much, Professor. I didn't just get lucky these past 3 months. I was unknowingly building habits that worked in harmony.
And now you know why. The beauty of this process is that it's repeatable and scalable. With intentional effort, your next 3 months can be even more transformative. Keep reflecting, keep practicing, and keep embracing the joy of growth.
This 16-part dialogue between Simon and his teacher offers a comprehensive exploration into the mechanics and mindset behind rapid English speaking improvement. The conversation highlights the importance of meaningful practice, active self-reflection, contextual vocabulary usage, embodied communication, and psychological resilience. More than just a guide to speaking better English, this dialogue underscores the value of persistence, curiosity, and self-awareness in any learning journey. It serves as a reminder that fluency is not just the result of time spent, but of how that time is focused, with smart habits, real-world application, and a mindset geared toward growth.
Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share to keep the English learning journey alive.